So I'd say, even as an old geezer, I'm pretty tapped in with Osama Son. I wouldn't say I'm the most. And I kind of witnessed him blowing up, where the first step was on Twitter, where he had the cover art that was inspired by Cardi's self-titled Alternative Pictures. And then he's kind of moved into like more Ken Carson lane type music with the distortion. And then so that it's not even a beef, because Ken Carson has pretty much only responded once and not really directly to him. But this whole speculative feud, let's say, or just the speculation that Osama Son's biting Ken and Cardi, but then like the underground is like, nah, we still fuck with him, or like he's actually sounds different. And then people are telling me that he actually rapped on different type of beats and had a different sound prior to going on the more distorted stuff. So maybe he isn't a biter after all. But let's see what this guy had to say about Osama Son.
What's good for L? What's
taking over the underground? How did he do it?
popping? All right, today we're gonna be talking about something that I've been meaning to talk about. I've been meaning to go over this timeline, this lore of the underground for a minute, because this nigga has took over, bro. 2 months into 2024, and he's damn near the most talked about artist in the underground besides,
I would say he is for sure the top underground artist when we're talking about just strictly clout. It's like him. Let's see, who else? Like Laser Dim for sure. I wouldn't say Net spends music, but he's kind of a meme and just a persona that a lot of people talk about. Is there anybody else? Like Until Japan's doing crazy, but I feel like Osama Son, it was Yapo JJ, but I don't know what he's doing right now. I guess we're just waiting on new music. He needs a new TikTok hit, but like Laser Dim is the guy right now.
it's Laser Dim and Ian right now. And that's Osama Son, all right? Arguably the biggest coming out of the underground right now, the most buzzing. And we're gonna be talking about how Osama Son took over the underground, nigga, because we all know Lil O, but let's get into the nitty gritty of this nigga, right? Now, if you don't know Osama Son is an American rapper who is believed to be anywhere between 18 and 22 years old. We don't know his official age. I can't find it. This nigga's like a ghost. These mysterious niggas, man. Osama Son, or Amari Middleton, is an underground rapper who recently rose to fame over the last, I don't know, nigga, what will we say, the last year? After dropping multiple projects that have got his name buzzing. Osama Season and Flex Music being the main ones, as well as his deluxe of Flex Music, which was Flextra, that recently dropped around.
It was Osama Season that blew him up. It was the Cardi comparisons. And then once the music was actually hard, that's the thing. So people think like, oh, I don't want to be compared to such and such artist. I am my own artist. It's like, nah, that is actually a good thing, because hate always leads, or a lot of times leads to clout and like, you know, love later on, once people actually find the differences between you and the artist that you're quote unquote biting, perceived by the fans. But so he did like the Cardi bite or like influence for the cover art, and then people actually tapped into the music and they were like, oh damn, this is actually cool, and then they stuck around. So that's why hate doesn't matter.
What was it, a month ago or a couple weeks ago? Now let's start from the beginning. Big boy Lamb, I'm in that big boy Charles. Osama's first song on SoundCloud was posted 2 years ago, nigga, and the name of it is Ha, and I'm guessing it's produced by him since he's got his name in parentheses, and that usually means, yeah, it's produced by such and such. Now if you listen to this song, nigga, which I'm gonna play a clip of, this song is actually tough. So Osama Son has always had that, I guess, sound to him a little bit. Yes, evolved, but he's always had this similar style. He's never really drastically changed. Now, if I'm guessing this isn't his first song, we're just gonna say it is, though, because it's the first one public on his SoundCloud. If I had to guess, he's probably removed some songs, because a lot of these niggas get a little bit of buzz and they just be erasing their entire history. Niggas just want to be reborn after they blow up.
Well, that's also because, you know, your first 100 songs that you record are probably trash too,
bro. So yeah, this is the first song we can publicly see on his SoundCloud. Now in the last year, he's went on a streak of dropping. He's been extremely consistent, dropping very good music. One of his first snippets to gain any traction was a song called Garfield, which I'm gonna play a video of that snippet, nigga. Arguably one of the most popular Osama clips. Now, after he ended up posting this snippet, it just went crazy. People were asking him to drop it, so he dropped it, and the song was dropped around a year ago. Of course, it's titled Garfield, produced by Bullymon and Margella.
See, we were talking about this in the last video about like who is the real next superstar and whatnot. People just blow up so fast that, yeah, and I always find myself saying this too, like, damn, the underground's dead, or like music doesn't look like it's in that good of shape right now, because I can't really foresee anyone really taking over like Yeat's spot while he moves on, or like the next Uzi Cardi. But at the same time, look how fast Osama Son blew up. It was a matter of months since like what, September or something, maybe earlier, August, July, whatever it was. So it only takes about 2 months. Look at Ian. He hasn't been out for more than a month or two, and he's blowing up as we speak. And same thing with Laser Dim. So a lot can change really fast, especially with the power of like TikTok and short content, all that. Instagram, Twitter, social media moves fast.
And he dropped a song called Back from the Dead, which also started to gain this nigga buzz, all right? But the beginning of this nigga starting to really get known was when he dropped CTSV, bro. Now, CTSV is one of people's favorite Osama Son songs. Definitely up there for me, too. It's a banger, bro. It's hard. It definitely be him. And once he dropped this, it also came along with the music video, and it just went fucking crazy. People started finding out about Osama really, you know, getting hip to the whole Osama Son wave and figuring out who he was. And after he dropped CTSV last year, he dropped the project that started it all, nigga. Osama Season. Now, I remember, bro, it was last summer, and my boys had came out to Chicago to visit me when I used to.
The first song I heard was Troops, I think. And it was prior to him dropping Osama Season, but then it ended up being on Osama Season.
To live there. And when I tell you niggas, they put me on the Osama Son, like, it was like early on when Osama Season dropped, too. It was like when it had first dropped. They were like, there's this dude called Osama Son, like, bro, you gotta check him out. So they end up playing them in the car. I think they played X and Sex or Troops. Boy, that shit was knocking, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie. It had been a while before I heard an underground artist that really had, like, caught my ear. And that nigga had really did that, bro. And I just want to say this. I feel like that's another reason Osama's music is so popular right now, why he really growing, is because his music has a sense of addictiveness to it. Like, if you have an ear for his music, you're gonna literally have an ear for it. Like, you're not gonna want to stop listening to it. It's just good. No, he ain't the most talented in the underground, but he definitely consistent when it comes to producing good songs. But yeah, Osama Season dropped July 21st, 2023. And nigga, when this shit dropped, it just went up. I'm telling you, all the underground blog pages started reporting about it. And well, this project was also when the King Carson clone allegations started happening. People kept calling him an Opium clone, a Cardi clone, and saying that he was literally just cloning them. And obviously one of the most popular tracks that people bring up when they say this nigga is a clone is X and Say. And if you,
I don't even know if it was the, I mean, I guess they were calling me a Ken Carson clone, but it was the, like, look, bruh, how can you miss this? It was the Osama Season cover, all right? And then you could just do like a side-by-side comparison with this looks like, right? Now let's do Cardi self-titled. That looks exactly like, hold up, where is it? Alter, right here. It looks exactly like that. So that's why people are freaking out. And since Cardi has so much pull, especially in the underground right now, since he's like kind of leading it and he's got multiple artists within it, then people got angry. But again, that leads to getting clout.
You listen to X and Sex, I mean, I don't have to tell you why people call him a clone for that song. I will admit, although now I don't look at him as a Ken Carson clone, back then you could definitely hear the inspiration.
I wouldn't say a clone, but I would say he's a Ken Carson derivative. Like, let's be honest. If Ken Carson, you're telling me, if you went back in time, there was no Ken Carson ever who dropped the project X, okay? X and Sex. And then Ken Carson is X-Men. Come on, bro. Come on. But in addition to that, if he never dropped any of that distorted music, would Osama Son be making that type of music? I doubt it. I doubt it.
To X and Sex. You can't say that that nigga wasn't inspired by a King Carson song after listening to X and Sex. But yeah, once this dropped, bro, niggas start gassing it. I remember bobbalam made a video on it, bro. Everybody was talking about it, and it was a crazy fucking moment. It was.
Hey, what's good?
Heat, man. I ain't gonna cap to y'all, man. Shit was heat, man. I ain't gonna cap to y'all. Lamb Truck is still on rotation to this day, damn near the whole project. Now, of course, Osama Son wanted to capitalize off the hype of dropping a project. I mean, nigga, who wouldn't? Especially if you want to keep going up. And well, to follow up Osama Season, he ended up dropping one of his also most popular tracks, which is called Trenches. Now, this song was hyped up for a minute. It was a popular snippet amongst Osama Son fans. And nigga, when I tell you when he dropped Trenches, bro, it just turned up even more. It turned up, bro. So much so to the point where people started rumoring Osama Son signed to deal with Rolling Loud for $1 million. Now, do I believe he signed the deal? No. Do I?
Nah, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. Osama Son, Rolling Loud. Why else would he have a Rolling Loud chain? Also, look, it just makes too much sense. Yes, this is my post, but Netspin and Osama Son are performing at Rolling Loud. Yes, they're like up in the underground, but like they have a good positioning on the lineup because he is signed to them. I'm trying to look for it, but Osama Son, what, Trenches? If you go to the cover art, it's a Rolling Loud chain. Let me just see if I can find it on Google. Osama Son chain, right here. It's this location. Rolling Loud. That's like a little hint that he signed a Rolling Loud, and it was for like $1 million, but it's 300K like in pocket, 300 or 400, meaning like that's the advance, and then the rest is recording and marketing budget. So that's like a normal structured deal. I know for a fact that he signed a Rolling Loud though, because he signed to Atlantic, who is under Rolling Loud, Rolling Loud is underneath Atlantic. And when he put the Wikipedia page talking about like the bio of Osama Son at the beginning, it said he was signed to Atlantic. So it all is confirmed basically.
I believe Osama Son signed with Rolling Loud for $1 million. No, but it was a crazy moment, bro. When Trenches dropped, his name just started gaining even more buzz, and this is when he started to get into the flex music era. So if you don't know, Osama Son dropped a project called Flex Music, right? And after he dropped Trenches, he just started getting ready to hype up Flex Music like it's the next hype project. Niggas were ready for it, but before he
Osama Son's kind of like the next Yeet if you think about it. I wouldn't say the same mainstream success or level, but he is capitalizing even more so than everybody else, where everybody else waits to drop music. He's just keeping it up like he did. What was the Osama season? Then soon after, like only months later, he dropped Flex Music. Then he dropped Flextra. He's probably working on I think he was supposed to drop a tape this Friday or last Friday, whenever it was, but then it got leaked. So now he has to redo it or remake something else. He said he's not going to drop, but come on, you got to drop. You're an artist that's growing. You don't want to stifle your progress, but it's the same strategy as Yeet. For any of you out there who are trying to blow up, just know that it's because he's dropping, not because he's trying to be all mysterious rapper like.
he dropped Flex Music, he ended up dropping a song with Netspin called Pour Up. Now this song got leaked, so Osama Son was forced to release it, and he ended up releasing this, and this was a couple days before Flex Music had dropped, I believe, or a week or so. So this was just building hype for Flex Music to drop. Niggas were just fiending, bro. Once Pour Up dropped, it was like, okay, we're really starting to get to the Flex Music era. So niggas start getting hyped, they start commenting where it's Flex. Osama Son ends up posting a preview of Flex Music. He made a little trailer for it, and then he posted the cover art for Flex Music. Now when he posted this, niggas start cooking him. Yo, you're a future clone, you're a future clone. And I must say this, yes, Osama Son's music and his whole image is heavily inspired by other niggas, but it's not a problem to be inspired.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at anybody, any cover art, it's always going to be inspired by something. That's just how art works in general. Even when you draw a painting or even when you make a YouTube video, it's always going to be like based on someone else's format. So Future, I feel like Future's a pretty good person to like be inspired by, especially when it was kind of a low key picture. It's same thing with Cardi's self-titled thing. Like, you know, you really got to be tapped in to really know that picture on the in the covers of the bed, and then with Future with the hoodie. So there's nothing wrong with it. I actually like it more when it's inspired because it shows where the roots come from.
You get what I'm saying? It's not a problem to try to recreate an album cover. Whole Lotta Red was literally ripping off an 80s magazine, yet and still niggas aren't on.
I was about to say that, but since it's a rock band and it's Cardi, like nobody, he gets the pass.
Cardi's head about it, but oh yeah, because it's Osama Son, niggas are glazing. The whole entire idea of music is just taking inspiration and making something of your own, because niggas make what they listen to 9 times out of 10. So I mean, it was just ridiculous, bro. But after he posted the cover art, he ended up getting posted on billboards, you know, in Times Square. Everybody was previewing Flex Music and getting ready for it, and then it drops, man. Flex Music drops, and it ends up taking Osama Son to the next level and officially certifying him as one of the top niggas in the underground, if not the top. Nigga has went on.
I think it's because he dropped a little bit of the distortion on the main album, where he had like pop, which was, it almost sounded like a Daft Punk sample or some shit with the yeah thing. That song was hard. And then Blonde felt like a Pierre Bourne Cardi beat from back self-titled. But like the distorted thing, he brought it back on the deluxe. But I feel like that's why I liked it a lot, because he just toned it down a bit so that, you know, old geezers can actually listen to it still.
On a full statewide tour, going to every state pretty much, performing day in and day out. I personally saw that nigga live, man. I was in the pits and almost died. I can confidently say he had one of the craziest, if not the craziest underground show I've been to. Yeah, I'm gonna say craziest. It was, bro. Energy was different. He performed well, pause, and it was overall a great show, nigga. It was worth the money for sure. But yeah, Osama Son has definitely took over the underground, man. He's only gone up since then. I've been seeing so many people co-sign him. Will he ever get co-signed by Ken or any of those guys? Probably not, but it's just been interesting to see him go up and overall just really take over. Now I will say this, I'm very interested to see.
He should get a Yeet feature. He's got the budget now under Atlantic. Just get the Yeet feature, then you're tapped in with like a more mainstream audience. Because Ken's probably not going to do it. Lone's probably not going to do it. I guess he could do it for SoFago, but that's not going to do much. Who else really is there that would like be a major cosign? And then after Yeet, he can move on to like the bigger artists, you know, like a Uzi or something.
See where Osama takes his career, because he is one of my favorite in the underground, and depending on where he takes this, he could really go crazy. I just hope he doesn't drastically change his sound, and I just hope he continuously provides good music for us to listen to, nigga. But I highly doubt he gonna pull a Cash Dami method and just sell, but we gonna see. And I will say Osama 100% has one of the strongest fan bases that I've seen in the underground. Like, niggas be really ride or die for him. Like, it's kind of crazy. Now don't get me wrong, he do be getting cooked, nigga. He be getting cooked on these underground promo meme pages or whatever you want to call them, but he definitely has that very strong.
But being memed is also a good thing. Yeah, they're cooking you, but look at how much people cook Cardi, but like it's all just for fun, and his name just goes up more and more. But yeah, he does have a strong fan base. I will give him that.
Audience, like a people who really enjoy his music. And I will say, if you compare Osama to anybody from the 2021 wave besides Yeet and Ken Carson, he didn't just blow up on TikTok. Like, I haven't really seen too much Osama Son on TikTok. I've seen him just genuinely gain natural buzz from being in the underground, and that's very rare to see. Usually it's some artificial with these rappers.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Like, I feel like he blew up on Twitter with the cover art stuff, and so it's just genuine conversation around him, and then I just fucked with it and we reacted on the stream, and ever since then he's just been in the conversation. Yeah, because if you blew up on TikTok too, that wouldn't be good, because people get famous and then fall off after like 3 weeks, and he hasn't fallen off.
Getting pushed on TikTok, and you know, their labels paying to playlist them. Haven't seen a lot of that with Osama Son, so that's a really promising sign. That means that he could low-key be cooking. But yeah, we can only wait and see what happens, honestly, bro. We don't know, man. Osama could be like the next fucking Prodigy or something, where he could just flop, but we don't know. I'm gonna be real, I don't think he's gonna flop. I just think he's gonna find his own lane. I don't think he's gonna necessarily be a Yeet, but Osama's definitely gonna be big, and he's gonna have his very core audience. I definitely believe that. But yeah, that's how Osama.
I don't think that he'll be a Yeet. I don't think he'll be like a superstar unless he drops like the super distorted stuff. That just makes it too niche. But if he drops that, then I could see it. Depends on like if he can get more vocal with it. But I guess Yeet blew up without being vocal at all. It's just about the hooks and like the beats. And I feel like he has good beat selection, other than just like getting fucking 808 vomit. But yeah, Osama Son did really take over. Excited to see what happens. We'll see if it becomes like Ken Carson level, or who else, like SoFago or something. What if he moves on to the mainstream? But he needs TikTok for that. And then I don't know if that's a good thing for the actual music quality, because then you're chasing like, you know, Rich and Mary type music, or like mainstream stuff that's gonna potentially like rise up really big, but then eventually might be actually detrimental to your career.